mute your screens.
If only there was a mute button.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's a funny thing, too, because I feel like if the whole thing actually did go through with the Electoral College, I feel like, I know we have protesting going on right now in writing, but I'm kind of terrified of what Trump supporters would do if it did get flipped on its head and they announced that Hillary was in office. Like, I feel like we would be, like, fast-forwarding to Hunger Games Redneck Edition overnight. I mean, just a thought.
You know what? I think they would have the 24-hour shit fit. They would set a lot of stuff on fire, and then they would go right back to doing what they've been doing for the last 8 years, which is bitch and whine and moan on Reddit.
Oh, that's true. And 4chan. Let's not forget
that's
where the trolls live.
Yeah, and 4chan.
Well, I feel a little bit better about this week, though, talking to you ladies. I'm not going to lie.
Thanks.
So I want to say thank you to all of you guys for sitting down and venting a little bit with us today. Do you guys have anything else you want to add? Anybody?
For me, I think the most important thing that we're going to get out of this is I feel like we're starting to see the end of all this stuff. As far as the older generation, they were the ones who mostly voted this in. And when you look at the younger voters, they were overwhelmingly on the liberal side of things. So I'm hoping that this motivates more of the younger voters to actually get out there and vote instead of just getting on social media and talking big game.
I like that.
Yeah, like I am beyond disappointed, and I'm going to take a moment just to call out the white women of our generation because we failed. We full on failed, and I doubt most of the ones who voted for him are actually would be listening to this podcast, but across the board, it is appalling to me that 53% of white women voted for that man, knowing what they did, and basically just deceived themselves and told themselves that it was fine and this is all fine, even though everything's on fire. I'm so depressed in some ways, and yet so for leaving this shit show for the kids behind us, and yet I'm so proud of the kids behind us who are taking this to the streets, you know, walking out of classes, who are not going to accept this, who are going to keep fighting. And I told somebody on Facebook when they tried to claim that I was the savior, you know, that our generation was going to save everything. And I was like, our generation screwed this up. Like, I'm just going to stand here in between the kids behind me and try and do what I can to keep them safe so that they can keep fighting, because we have, hands down, you know, pretty much dropped the U.S. into the toilet because of this election when we did not have to. And it's because of, I mean, a lot of things, but I think one of the big things is the internalized misogyny that happens, and this idea that women are not qualified for this office or any kind of big office or any kind of big dreams. And it's just horseshit. I mean, we all know it is.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, adding to the white women voting for Trump, I went to Target tonight, and that was in my mind as I'm walking around and I'm looking at every white woman and going, which one of you did it? Who did it? Who voted for him? Who's responsible? Like, is it you picking up the tomatoes? Is it you shopping for new underwear? Like, now I'm suspicious of everyone, and I trust no one.
The only thing I really wanted to add was this doesn't end with Trump, and it doesn't end with Pence.
Right.
It's one of the biggest evils that we need to get rid of, and he's coming up for re-election in 2018, is Mitch McConnell.
Oh yes.
And I grew up in Kentucky. I know Mitch McConnell. He's been in office since I was 3 years old, and I'm almost 40. So, yeah, we need to get rid of that guy. And the thing is, Kentucky will keep voting him into office because Kentuckians don't think about their politics. This is how like a good majority of Kentuckians, and if any of my fellow Kentuckians are listening, you'll know it's true. Don't give me any shit. You know it's true. You don't think about, is this guy's policies the better for my family, or is this person's policies better? No. My daddy voted for him, so I'm going to vote for him too. That's how Kentuckians vote. So, yeah. We need to get rid of that motherfucker. End of story.
God, that's scary. Legacy voting. That's what that is.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Well, I guess all we can do now is kind of wait and see what the next week or so bring us with the Biff Tannen 2016 presidency. Again, thank you guys so much for hanging out and for talking. And thank you guys so much for listening tonight. And this has been Nasty Women Nation. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
Finding out.
Bye.
Yeah.